Okay, two things here. Okay, number one, Unyshek sucks. He's not a game developer. He's a community manager at 343. He's got no business posting this because he's not in a position to post this, right? First of all, he's nobody, right? Secondly, I object to the notion of why a video game's hard to make these days because the context isn't there. He's not saying what time period that context applies to. So first of all, we haven't got the context behind the original statement. Secondly, expectations and legal requirements of games have increased. Let's see what his examples are. Maybe he's right on that. Maybe he's wrong on that. I think some games are easier to make now. Some games. And then others will be harder. But here we go. But he's got no business posting this. Okay, 343 is a joke company now. Well, they've always been a joke, but this is beyond. Because day by day they are trying to damage control for why the game sucks now and why games suck now. The answer is because the game is made by 343. That's why the game sucks. End of discussion, right? Well, let's go through the list. Okay, expectations, requirements increase. So does the complexity of systems that support achieving them. Right. So right off the bat, expectations, right? So that's about what? Expectations would be around content, right? That's what expectations are, right? The theater mode doesn't work. There's no co-op at launch. So you fail on expectations before we even start. The expectation is it's as good as a game that came out fucking 10 years ago, 20 years ago. That's the expectation. That's not a high bar. That really, I'm sorry, just think about this. How is that a high bar? A game that came out 20 years ago with technology of 20 years ago, you now have 20 years future technology to what it was back then, and you make a worse game. That, I'm sorry, it can't be harder to do that now. It can't be. If it is, then that's your fault as well because you're fucking Microsoft, and Microsoft builds the computers that build this shit. So they need to sort that shit out. Honestly. Complexity of systems that support achieving them. Okay. Let's go through the bullet points. Increased visual fidelity. Okay, so let's just put the brakes. Let's just slow down. Okay. Sub-bullet point to that is 8K plus asset creation, ultra-wide, RTX, etc. Where does Halo Infinite run in 8K? What platform does it run in 8K? It might run in 4K, but there's no ray tracing. It doesn't have a day and night cycle because they weren't ready at launch. Okay? All they had to do was delay this game. There's no reason why Microsoft couldn't have delayed this game. So how is any of this valid? Every single game system since the original game system, since fucking Pong was a thing, have improved over time. Every single game system has improved over the years from where we started in the 1970s. Every single game system has been an upgrade to the last one, and every single game system has had an upgrade in visuals since the fucking one before. All of them. That's not new in gaming. Okay, maybe there's more challenges in that now. But realistically, you're not trying to make the game run in 420p, are you? Or 480p or whatever. You're not trying to make the game run in low-ass resolutions, right? The game has to be HD and up. You're not you're not trying to get the game to run at 30 frames or 20 frames or whatever. You're not trying to get the game to run in an N64. You're still upgraded to a more powerful piece of hardware. We'll get to the hardware soon. But we're still upgrading. So you don't have to do everything that came before. So I don't understand how this is an excuse. How that makes this process harder. Increased visuals, sure. The same as every game since every system since ever, right? Improved online experience, dedicated servers and online security. Okay. Online security, that's a complex one. Microsoft does do online security pretty well, but they're happy to have like the game free so anybody can play it and have like 1 million fake accounts and all that sort of stuff. But with regard to like, you know, security, generally pretty good. But dedicated servers here? Are we serious for a second here? Dedicated servers. Gears of War 3 had dedicated servers in 2011. How is this a thing? Why is this a hard thing to achieve? What? 13 years later? Let's say 12 years later. How is that a hard thing to achieve? Surely that's like riding a bike at this point. This is stuff that you've been doing for a long time. So how is it so hard? Dedicated servers. And remember, Halo Infinite launched with no option to select a server. Building for more platforms. Additional builds, infrastructure, game security, etc. All of that is of Microsoft's own making and 343's own making by being a shit company. There's no reason to release a fucking brand new game for an old system. Or for PC, for that matter, because it's a fucking exclusive for the Xbox. They invented the challenges. They made the challenges. Okay? And Halo 2 and Halo 1 were released on PC. Okay? And you're going to say, well, Halo 2 was shit on PC. It was buggy. Yes, so was Halo Infinite. What's the difference? Okay? 343 chose, I'm sorry, Microsoft is the same thing, and 343, chose to make the game for PC. They chose to make all their games cross-platform with PC. They chose to make all their games run on the old Xbox One 7-year-old hardware. They chose those decisions. They were the wrong decisions. I told you that 10 years ago. Well, not 10. 8 years ago, I told them this. I made a video about this. This is a huge mistake. I told them this. That was obvious, okay? So how is that the fault? Whose fault is that? Where is the blame being placed here? Building for more platforms. Who is head rolls on that one? Who gets the boot on that one? Is it Phil Spencer? Is it Aaron Greenberg? Who made the decision to bring games to fucking PC? Who made that decision? Who made the decision to put new games on old hardware from 7 years ago? Whose decision was that? Where's the fucking... Where's the fucking comeuppance? Where's the resignations? Where's the... Why was nobody fucking fired for that shit? We just take it as we have to do that and no one ever challenges it. If we can't make games for multiple platforms without making them suck fucking ass, then what is the purpose of them being on multiple platforms? What is the purpose of having a shit game on 7 systems versus a good game on 1? That's what Nintendo does. A good game, 1 system. Done. Case closed. Moving on to the next system. They don't make the game for 17 video game systems. That's where you're going wrong. That is where you're going wrong. Better support for the game's ecosystem, cross-play. Again, don't put the game on PC. That is your choice. The developer and Microsoft, it's the same thing. They chose to put the game on fucking PC and on fucking Xbox One. Who was asking for this? Who was asking for this? It's insane. These people are clueless. Halo 3 is the best-selling Halo game. How many fucking systems was that released for when it came out? 1. What have you gained? What have you gained? More updates and faster hotfixes. In Halo Infinite, are you shitting me? I'm not even going to justify that with response. That doesn't even apply to Halo Infinite. Fast fixes and updates and shit. That's utter, like, not even a thing. The game is barely a beta. It's not even a thing. That doesn't even count with the game he's fucking working on. That's ridiculous. New laws and regulations which change all the time across various countries. Piracy, acceptable content, etc. That's been a challenge since forever. You know, games on the 360 are like banned in Germany, right? That was a thing 10 years ago, 15 years ago, longer than that. Okay, that's always been a problem, you know, and that happens, you know. There's whole YouTube channels about how this game is censored here and that game is censored there, and how this platform won't allow this and how this platform won't allow that. Yeah, but that's always been a thing. That's been going on for fucking, again, since at least, well, forever, but since at least, like, mainly, you know, now, like, if we're gonna, the last 20 years, if we're talking about Unyshek's fucking list here. Okay, 10 years ago this was going on, 15 years ago this was going on, 20 years ago this was going on. Okay? Yes, the laws and regulations are changing all the time, but some of the laws get fucking relaxed too. Some of them. There you go. New tools need to be made to support all this additional work. But you created this. New tools are not made to be made to do with fucking regulations. That's not true. That doesn't apply to that one. Hot fixes, does that apply to that one? I don't think so. Okay, yeah, crossplay needs new tools. Fucking, yeah, infrastructure and build, yeah. But you chose to put those in the game. We weren't asking for those. Consumers were not asking for this. You've given them things that they don't want and taken away the things they do. That's what you've done. You're a shit company. Wake up. New process needs to be created to ensure these intricate new additions are executed on properly. If you didn't have them in the first place, you wouldn't need to do these at the bottom, would you? You created the problem. You created it. We're now starting to understand why Halo 4 is the best free for free game. Because Bungie handed them the keys. They did the engine for them. The engine was there. 343 just made a fucking game with Bungie's engine, and it had all the same fucking systems. It had the peer-to-peer. It wasn't on multiple consoles. You know, everything was basically very structured for 343 to just come in and make a game. 343 is incapable of making the right decisions. And 343 is basically Microsoft. And they are incapable of making the right decision with regard to video games because none of them play video games. None of them understand video games. None of them care about video games. Right? Bungie cared about the game. They used Bungie systems and shit to make Halo 4. That's why it was an okay game. And everything else has just been 343 madness. Where they just constantly chasing their own fucking tail. Clueless as to what they're actually doing. More people are needed to support this additional complexity across the content creation tools and processes. Again, you wouldn't need additional people if you didn't have multiple builds of the game on multiple systems that have to somehow cross-play with each other with different frame rates. And then you've got PC where people have different fucking hardware in the PC, different graphics cards, different fucking operating systems and all that shit to deal with. If you're building for one dedicated console, namely the Xbox Series X, which should be the focus because it's the next-gen hardware, current-gen hardware now, but it at the time it was next-gen hardware. We are going to build this game for the next system, and it's going to be a killer app for the system, right? They didn't do that. They've made a game that runs on 7-year-old piece of shit hardware, which is no incentive to buy a new fucking console or a PC. It's no incentive to do either. It's nuts. It doesn't make sense. Releasing this game on 7-year-old old hardware has fucking crippled it. It's fucking undercut it and it's fucking ruined the game. Alright? Building systems, again, that's not even on this fucking list, like microtransactions, stores, microtransaction card packs in Halo 5. Again, features the fan base didn't want, didn't care about, and didn't ask for. But guess what? They have to build a system for that. And that takes time away from other stuff. That's why there's no fucking co-op campaign. Let's not focus on the shit people actually care about. Like Forge, Theater, campaign co-op. No, let's focus on microtransaction store, crossplay, bots that they added for no reason. What does it say here? New tools need to be made to support additional work. New processes need to be created to ensure blah blah blah. New people are needed. Yes. So all of that applies to building fucking bots for the game that no one asked for and no one cares about. Okay? If it's one thing you can count on with 343, no one asked for it, no one cared about it. It's like them memes where it's like no one, absolutely no one, absolutely no one, and then it's 343 and it's like some guy trying to drive a car up some stairs or something. That is 343. It's one of them memes. Absolutely nobody gives a rat's ass about multiplayer fucking bots. The only people that fucking care about them are people that see them and go, oh, multiplayer bots. Yeah, but they weren't asking for them before the fact. Nobody, there's no videos or no fucking comments about bots ever in Halo, ever. Nobody gave a rat's ass. Nobody wanted them. Yeah, here we are. Why is there a training mode? Again, no one cares about that. Wasted resources. Why is there fucking cutscenes in multiplayer? Nobody cares. Why does there lockers on the fucking wall with rotating weapons? No one wanted them. Why do vehicles get dropped off by fucking pelicans? No one asked for that. You keep building stuff no one asks for. This game should be pure fan service. You took over from a successful developer that knew what they were doing. All you had to do was keep doing the same. Okay, the games might have gotten a bit stale, but for fuck's sake, they would have been better than they are now, where it's just like, hey, let's put in shit that no one fucking asked for or cared about ever. Nothing. Not even the game modes at launch. No team snipers, no fuck all. No doubles ranked, nothing. There's nothing there. So, according to Unyshek's list here, as we already know, but this list confirms that what 343 has done is built features in a game that no one asked for and no one cares about, man. That's what they've done, and that's what they've spent 6 years doing. Finding a way to put their shit in that no one cares about. Get rid of these fucking jokers, Microsoft. Bring in people that actually like Halo and can actually make Halo games. Saber Interactive, Certain Affinity, whatever. Bring in people that can do the job. And get rid of these jokers. And learn from the fucking mistakes. Stop making the same fucking mistakes over and over and over again. Feel free to subscribe, guys. See you later.
It was a big moment, right?